Hey everyone, and welcome back to Rising Star Trading, Minimalistic Trading. In this short live stream, I want to talk about the possible opportunity that we have right now, which is convert Ethereum to Cardano. I confused Ethereum with Cardano in the title, so it should say, should you convert your ETH to Cardano, not the other way around. So should you convert your Ethereum to Cardano? I think partially yes. Let me show you why. First of all, let me talk real quick on about the obvious. Look, Cardano is for third day in a row or something on third place market cap wise. So it's huge. So it overshot Binance, Tether, XRP, just doesn't give a shit. It's just the third, and it's getting closer and closer. So that's a good thing. Second, you can safely stake it. So you just every 5 days you get paid 5% yearly, and also the smart contracts are very soon to be implemented, and the price might be going very high from then on. So even now, without smart contracts, it's sitting on the third place on the market cap wise. So that's good. Cardano is definitely good. We all believe it. We all love it. But now, if we look at the charts of Cardano Ethereum on Binance, we can see some interesting things happening. So let me show you what. First of all, let me check. If you have some questions or ideas, anything, you just write it in the comments. I will address it later. So, but for now, Cardano. Look, let's just play around and draw some trend lines. I'm a big believer in trend lines, so they work really well for me. Not for me, they seem to work in general quite well. So if we connect these two highs from January 2018 with the next high 30th April 2018, it was a trend line, and after it was broken right here, Cardano went a little bit sideways, but no problem. It went sideways until it decided to go up again. So we could draw a next trend line. Let's just draw them all. It's very interesting what you can conclude from it. So, and yes, I'm on the logarithmic chart. So right here, this would be the second important trend line. We just connect this peak with all the other peaks. Okay, let's go with the next one. Alright, then we had this one. It's on the daily. Probably I should do the 3-day chart because it's then easier to navigate. Okay, let me go with the 3-day chart. So that doesn't really change much. So, okay, let me readjust it a little bit to the 3-day. Like this. Alright. So, what you definitely can see is every time we break those lines, we have some nice movement. Even here, after we broke it, right here, in the first time, in June 2018, after we broke it, even though we went sideways, we still didn't go lower, and we had some upward movements for little trading, like how much is it? 27% up. So it was a nice move. If you just sold your Ethereum into Cardano, then you might have made some money right here. So anyways, the thing is, we have different trend lines, which if they break, then we see some nice movements. The biggest ones are these, of course. This break, 24th May 2020. After we broke it, we saw a huge spike in it, Cardano versus Ethereum. It was 100% actually, 100% price. Okay, the next one, the recent one, beginning in 12th February or 9th February 2021. We also see some big movement afterwards, like 100% again. And then we retested this trend line. This is the cool thing. We retested the recent trend line right here. We went up, then down, retested, and now we're going up again. And the same happened back then in 2020 April. Look, we went up after we broke this. We broke this trend line right here. Went up, then retested it, and then shoot up. And it happens quite often. Let me see. Did we see the same right here? Okay. Anyways, broke the trend line. Went up, retested, went back up again. And now, the interesting part, because you want to know what's the current situation. So the current situation is we can also draw a trend line right here. From here. Alright, so we have a new trend line. Let me even switch to weekly because it's easier to see. Okay, on the weekly it doesn't look as good. I gotta switch back. 4-day maybe. Okay, let's go with the 4-day. Anyways, so we have this trend line, the new one. Let me readjust it a little bit. From the peak, from the last peak to this peak. So let me also make it thicker, like this. So what we now see is that we are about to break it, probably. So if you convert your Cardano, your ETH into Cardano right now, then it will probably hit these levels and probably then bounce back for a retest or something. But it will be quite a big move if you just trade it like this. No financial advice, but it would be 15% on ETH. So if you convert it into Cardano and then get your take your Cardano and convert it back into Ethereum, so you would have more Ethereum after this. And why do I think it will go higher? Yeah, because after breaking those trend lines, it surpasses the previous high, like right here, for example. It broke it, so it was the previous high. After breaking this trend line, it goes at least to this previous high, you know, and then go down again, retest. Then after breaking the new trend line, it goes also to previous highs. And okay, in this case, it almost went, but if you look at the wick, it's quite high above. So in this case, after we break this one, but we don't have to break it, but at least we touch the trend line. But we might also break it. Anyways, right now I'm thinking about converting my Ethereum into Cardano, and even without the thought in my mind, without having the idea of converting it back to Ethereum, because I don't even see the need to do it, because Cardano is good enough, probably better than Ethereum. So if you just convert it right now, it's it's just good, not super cheap, but good price for Cardano in ETH. A better price would be, of course, right here. If we pull up this Fibonacci, then we see it's also a golden pocket. It was exactly at 0.5% Fibonacci retracement. So it went down again to 0.5 something. It would be a good time to convert Ethereum to Cardano. Okay, here would be even a better, but anyways, we have some more room to go upwards. So I strongly believe that we will go up in Ethereum 14% more. Sooner or later, we don't have to go in a straight line. We might also go do something like this, you know, and then reject it. But after even if we get rejected right here, I think sooner or later we will break it, because the smart contracts will come, and then a lot of people will switch to Cardano, I believe. So we will have the news supporting this break of this biggest trend line. But of course, as long as we didn't break this bigger trend line, we have no grounds to expect that it will smash through it. We just have the faith right now. But the probability that we will at least touch this trend line is very high. So it's 15% on your ETH. So what I'm gonna do, I'll probably convert some, not everything, not all Ethereum, maybe some into Cardano. Let's draw some more lines. What about this trend line? Look, it was a fake out. So if these trend lines break to the downside, then we go down. But in this case, it was just a little bit. Okay, not a little bit, it's 15%, but then we went up again after reaching the 0.5 Fibonacci. So, yeah, I think a realistic scenario is that we go up, touch this trend line, then go down, and even if we break this trend line, probably will go up like this, and then the smart contracts sometime will come, and then we break this trend line. Actually, I don't know when is the time for the smart contracts on Cardano. Let's see. Cardano smart contract date. In September, so it's going live in September. Alonso is coming September 12th, or wait. Yeah, Cardano's team has confirmed that smart contracts are scheduled to launch on the blockchain with the Alonso hard fork on September 12th. So yeah, September 12th, where is it? August. So this is somewhere around here. Okay, let me switch to 2 daily. So this is September 12th. And this is where the smart contracts will be implemented. So what can we expect? I think it will be a little bit of the buy the rumor, sell the news situation, just for a bit. So I think towards the smart contracts event release, we will see something like this. We will probably go down, then retest the 38.2 and go up, bounce back, and on the day before that, just the days before the implementation, we will probably go higher and break this trend line, and then after the implementation, a lot of people will probably sell the news and we will go down, maybe dip a little bit under the trend line, but all in all, so there should be a spike right the day before on the September 11th maybe. It should be a big spike, and then after the more we approach the 12th September, the more selling will begin, I think. And I don't know how big the spike will be. Maybe even bigger. But after the little sell-off, because people will try to sell the news, the event, then we will go back up above our beautiful trend line. And bear in mind, it's all ETH Cardano. So the name of this stream is also "Should you convert Ethereum to Cardano?" But at the same time, we could also look at BTC. So let's do it right now. So to sum things up, to wrap things up with Ethereum, I believe we will go up maybe 15% on Cardano Ethereum chart. Not in a straight line, maybe doing something like this, wiggle, and then right before the 12th September, which will happen in 1 month, we will have a huge spike, even in the days before, maybe something like this, then break the trend line, and then on the day we will see some selling, and then retest some levels, and then go back up, and from then on, it might be going very, very high. So after we see this happening, somewhere right here, you could also decide to convert some Cardano back into Ethereum, or just be happy that you have so much Cardano for Ethereum. Okay, before I talk about BTC Cardano possible conversion opportunity, let's also check the bearish scenario for Cardano. Seriously, realistically, what might happen to Cardano or to the ecosystem that might bring Cardano down? I don't know. It's just going up and up. It's just only better news coming up. I mean, the Alonso hard fork is coming up. They have more and more contracts with countries and so on, with Africa, all this project. I see only good news. And also the Cardano community, the Charles Hoskinson's YouTube channel is huge and getting bigger. So I don't really see how this might not work. I mean, if Ethereum shoots up, it's good for Ethereum, but probably everything else will shoot up as well. But the bearish scenario could also, of course, be that we go down. Also, another very bullish thing that I completely forgot to show you, one of the most important lines. Yeah, the reason. Okay, sorry, I forgot it. So look, one of the main reasons why I think Cardano will go up 15% at least in Ethereum is because we have another trend line. Look at this beautiful baby. Look, let me remove this Fibonacci so we have more view. So look at this trend line. The recent peak on 28 February 21, and we just draw this trend line. Look what we have. And let me remove this for a bit. Just hide it. So let me make it pink and fat. So this is a huge ass trend line which has been broken. You see it right here? Look, after these trend lines break, we see some nice movement. After we broke this trend line, for example, right here, this turquoise one, this one. After we broke this, let me make it fatter. We also went down, at least for a bit. Look, even here, we went down 15%. And although we were in a bullish uptrend for Cardano, it's still 15%. And now we broke the resistance trend line. So 15% from here would be what? Would be exactly at this, yeah, even more. It's about 18% to reach this bigger resistance line, which goes back to December 2017. So yeah, the main reason why I think we will go up and at least hit this trend line, at least 15% on Cardano Ethereum, because of this trend line, because of this beautiful trend line being broken. After we touch it, like I said, we might go down a bit, bounce back and forth, and then the smart contracts come, and let's probably catalyze the shoot up in Cardano versus Ethereum, because I believe a lot of people will switch or just think, oh, Cardano is nice, and will jump on in after the sell-off, of course. Because first we're gonna have the sell-off on the 12th September, I think, or the following days a little bit, and then go back up. Okay, so this is it for Ethereum Cardano. If you have some suggestions, questions, let me know. Otherwise, let's take a quick look at Cardano BTC. Alright, so let me switch to weekly. And do the same. Let's just do the same right here. Connect all the... Actually, let me use not the wicks, let me use the closes on. We can do both, but let's go with this first. So, let me make them a little bit thinner. Okay. Who, me? Oh, we have some interesting ears here. I'm having a live stream. I'm talking about Cardano and BTC. I'll be right back. Huh? Yeah, very great. The sun is great. And my mama is great. So we have these trend lines going all the way back to January 2018. And every time they break, something interesting happens, usually, if we have this trend line breaking. Not in the... so sometimes you have to wait, like right here, after this first trend line broke, we had to wait for a long time until it goes up. But it was kind of a signal, signifying that we are going, like we are changing the trend. Like the trend was down from here on BTC Cardano, the trend was down, like this. But after we break these trend lines, it's a good signal that we are at least going sideways for a bit, and very soon we will go up because the trend is changing. So this is also what happened, and if you would wait long enough, then it would be a beautiful 50% move upward. Okay, anyways, then we created this new higher, this new high, so we can draw a new trend line like this. And again, it was a downtrend for a bit right here, from here to here. It was a downtrend, but after we break this trend line right here, the downtrend stops, and we go at least sideways for a bit, and then if you wait long enough, we go up. So some people, they draw these trend lines horizontally, like this, for example. You see? Let me make it red. So some people, they draw these trend lines like this, and then they say, okay, after we break this neckline, it's like a W then, after we break it right here, then we shoot up. And it's true. But which entry is actually better? An entry right here, or right here, or even right here? Of course, this is better. You get better entries if you go with these trend lines, not the trend lines, not the horizontal trend lines. Even right here, instead of waiting for this horizontal line to trend, and after you see a weekly close above this neckline, you can say, okay, we're going up. Yeah, it's true, but if you use a trend line and like not the horizontal one, but use this one, even right here you would get a earlier entry, probably, if you would go to the daily. Or if you are like me, then you draw the trend line not from here, but from the previous all-time high, like this, and it gives you a much better entry. Look, I'm on the logarithmic chart, by the way. If you change to regular, it's not really different in this case. So it would give you a much better entry. Let's just compare. Let's put it back. This entry, and let me draw another one from here to here, and let me change the color to green, like this. So which entry is better? This one, which is the conventional conservative one, after waiting for the neckline to break, the horizontal one, or this one? Of course, this one is better, and it would give you how much more? It would give you additional 72%. Come on, this is crazy. So these are important. Sometimes, although sometimes you have to wait. You know, like right here, you have to wait. If you enter right here, you have to wait the sideways time, you know. But it's no problem, because it's quite sure that one thing, it seems to signify very safely. After we break those trend lines, these ones, we see a break of a trend. So the downtrend stops right here, and it's the same for the down movement as well. If we have support trend lines, like which we get if we connect the peaks, the lows on the price, like right here. So it's an uptrend, and if this breaks, then it's signifying that there's a possibility that we will go down or sideways. But sometimes it's just a fake out. Why was this, for example, a kind of a fake out? And why didn't we go all the way down like this? Well, the biggest reason why we didn't see something like this on Cardano Bitcoin happening is because just right before we broke another big trend line, big resistance. So this green support line was broken, this red support neckline was broken, and we also broke this. There's also another that I didn't even show you. Look, if we connect this other high, then you also see that this was broken right here as well. No, so we have many trend lines that have been broken. So, and it's a strong one. After we break this, we went up. So what we actually did going down again, we just tried to retest it, and we bounced exactly, almost exactly at this level, which was our support line. Previously it was the resistance line. Now it turned into support because we had this wick right here. It was one of the previous highs, you see. So after we shoot up and went over it, we just retested it. So we had so this is why this trend line, even after it was broken, wasn't strong enough to bring Cardano on Bitcoin down, because there were some stronger trend lines in play, like this one. So we just went back up, and the next support line that we should be fearing to break would be obviously this one. So if we connect the new low, the new higher low, so somewhere right here, if we go down and break it, then we might be fearful a little bit on Cardano BTC. But what's next for Cardano Bitcoin? And we are on the weekly chart, so we can, just like on Ethereum, we can draw this trend line, and yeah, to me it just looks like we're about to break it, or at least touch it, bring it, then let this is the money. So 5%. So we're probably gonna go at least 5% higher on Cardano Bitcoin. But I don't think that right now is a good time to convert Bitcoin into Cardano. I'm not sure yet, because not overall. If you think long term, like in 2-5 years, then it's probably a good thing, but it's not the best entry. This one would be a much better entry, as we just bounced off this support line. So this would be a good time to convert Cardano into Bitcoin. The next good opportunity to convert Bitcoin into Cardano, not vice versa, sorry. The next good opportunity to convert Bitcoin into Cardano will be after we break this line, retest it and go back up again. Let me switch to the daily. The smart contracts on 12 September might be the crucial. So this is where the smart contracts will be implemented. So the next good opportunity to buy Cardano with Bitcoin would probably be either after we do something like this, break it, then retest it and go back up. So on the retest probably will be a good idea, or we can also wait for a lower retest, something like this, go down, and the more we approach the 12th September, the more the price should rise for Cardano. Then on the 12th September we should see some sell-off, retest and go back up. So these are the good times to buy Cardano with Bitcoin. If you buy Bitcoin, Cardano with Bitcoin right now, then what we will most likely see is a little rejection from here, then go back down either to this trend line or even to the support. So, which would be a better entry than this, because it would be like 10 or 7% better. Let's see. Yeah, 10% right here, or if we retest the previous support line, would be even lower, or even, yeah, like 23% better. So right now, for Ethereum, I think it's a okay time now to convert, but for Bitcoin, not really. Maybe let's also use the Fibonacci retracement here. So this is our low, this is the high. So it's funny how how exact this level work. Look, we bounced off the 38.2 on Fibonacci, exactly, just right exactly on this. If I do it even more exact like this, we get the exact value. It's crazy. Look, just exactly, we bounced right here. Very interesting. So, and the 23.6 Fibonacci level might also be our support. Should we be rejected right here and go down for a bit, this might be a good support right here. But right now, convert Bitcoin to Cardano is not the best opportunity. Probably we should wait for a better entry. Okay, what else can we look at? Yeah, I think that's it. Let's take a quick look just on the Bitcoin price. 36,000. Okay, what about just Bitcoin? Okay, I am extremely bullish on Bitcoin. Let me talk about Bitcoin a little bit as well. And I think the chances are very high that we will not see a dead cat bounce. Very high. I think it's much more likely that we will go higher. Let me show you why. Again, the trend lines. So if you look at this trend line, you need no indicators for this actually. It's funny. So if you look at the trend line right here, we connect the all-time high with the following lower high. We have this trend line. And it's also basically almost the same on logarithmic scale or the regular scale. We broke above it. Every time we break above these huge trend lines, something big is happening. Like you can use any. Let's just go, for example, with this one. Okay, let's just connect this one. Look, after we broke this trend line right here, we saw a little bit of downwards movement, but then we retested it and shoot up. But this trend line is if you connect the wicks, if you connect the bodies of the candles, it's usually more reliable. As far as I remember, let's try this. Okay, you see, if you connect the bodies of the candles and not the wicks on the daily chart, right here, for example, right here we broke this trend line. And again, what is the idea behind it? What does it mean if we break those big trend lines. It means that the downtrend is probably over, and after this break we might see some retesting, some sideways movement a little bit before we jump up, but it's a first sign of the change of the trend. And in this case we broke a big trend line, and so this is also a quite sure sign that this downtrend is probably over. So now some people might argue that it's a dead cat bounce, but dead cat bounce is something similar like what we saw in 2017. If we do the same right here, we have this trend lines, right? And let's connect them. So we have the all-time high, then we have this trend line, and it was broken right here, okay? And after we broke above it, we might also have said, okay, it was a dead cat, it was the change of the trend, but we didn't go up, we still went down for a long time before we went up, so the trend didn't change. But there was something else. I usually don't like to use them so much, the moving averages, but this was the difference. Look, if we pull up the moving averages, maybe even the EMA ribbon, let me see real quick. No, the moving averages. So if you look at the moving averages, what happened after we broke above it, we were still the 21 moving average, this one, the red one, you see the 21 moving average, it was still below the 50 moving average and below the 200 moving average. So the red one is the 21 moving average, the orange one is the 50 moving EMA exponential moving average, and the blue one is the 200. So after we broke above this trend line in 2018, it was a little bit weaker than what we just had right now, because if we look at the moving exponential moving averages right now, we after breaking it, we are above all these trend lines. So okay, look again right here, 2017. Yes, we were also above these moving averages, but okay, I said something wrong. The thing is, the difference is not that we are above the moving averages. The difference is that the 21, they are in right order, you know. The 21 moving average is above the 50 exponential moving average, and the 50 exponential moving average is above the 200 moving average. So if the moving averages are in this order, it means we are bullish. So because we just had a golden cross right here on the 50 EMA and 21 EMA, it was a golden cross right here. Also we just recently 2 days ago we had a golden cross on 250 EMA, and it's a little bit different than what we had in 2017, because in 2017, just after we broke above this trend line, we still didn't have this golden cross. The golden cross happened later. There are two golden crosses. They happened here, but they happened later. So the time of the exact moment where we broke above this big trend line was a weak point in terms of the moving averages, because here the 200 EMA was above the 50 EMA and above the 21 EMA. But if we look at the current situation, at the exact point of breaking above it, the 21 EMA is way high, way up. You see, right here, it was above the 200 EMA. The only thing that that came a little bit later is the 50 EMA, which just happened 2 days ago. And so yeah, to me it looks more bullish. And also, if we draw the trend line, like I said, from the bodies of the candles, we see that we already even retested it. We retested this trend line, bounced back up, and yeah, it looks like we are consolidating above this big trend line. Also, let's compare it again to the previous all-time high, and also redraw the trend lines with the bodies of the candle, not the wicks. And then you also see another picture. Look, what I just did is also another argument to say that it's different right now. So here's another point. Look at the current situation right now. So we draw this same trend line, the previous high and the following lower high. We draw this trend line using the bodies of the candles. Okay, and we have the situation that we went up above it, retested, and went back up. Probably there will be a new retest or something, and we are above all the EMAs. They are bullish. Okay, and 2017, if we redraw the trend line based using the bodies of these candles, the all-time high and the following lower high, we see that after breaking above it, we failed to retest it. You see right here on 11th May 2018, we tried to retest it, but we broke very decisively below it. We broke below all the EMAs and also below this trend line. You see right here. So if you project the same situation on what just happened right now, a couple of days ago we had this beautiful bounce. 2021. So the 21 picture is bullish because we had the bounce, but in 2017 we failed to retest it. We just broke below this trend line. So, and then we just continued to go down. And again, right here, we had a retest, and we didn't fall down. We went up. So this is very bullish, actually, I think. So yeah, I'm quite bullish. What else is important right now on the Bitcoin chart? Let's see. Maybe some resistance lines. So you could make a case of a rising wedge right here. So, and you could also say, look, we have this big trend line and we are about to break below it on the daily chart. Look, we have this trend line, this one, let me remove all the unnecessary drawings. So you could make a little bearish argument for Bitcoin right now if we connect this low with the previous low, with this one, you could say, look, we're about to break it, and if we break below this trend line, you might say, okay, we're probably going down, and might look bearish, but in reality, I think it would still not be bearish, because even if we close below this trend line, we have this huge support trend line. I call it the God trend line. This one. Well, so I think what's actually gonna happen if we close this daily candle below this trend line is just that we retest it. We retest it, we wick a little bit down, and then we go back up, and then do something like this. So, in other words, a downwards movement of how much is it? Let's see, of about minus 5% or something, or maybe even up to 7 or 8% with a little wick down, might be completely healthy, and wouldn't mean that we are going down. Also, as we approached, should we retest this God trend line right here, at this point somewhere also the moving averages will be going in this direction, so they will also act as a support. So we might just bounce back up. So the trend lines that I'm drawing here all the time, they are competing with each other. So we have a bigger trend lines like this one. Let me make it very thick. So this is the God trend line. It's very thick, you see. And if this breaks, it's quite good sign that the downtrend is broken, that we are going up. So now, even though we have this other trend line right here, let me make it orange and thick, like this. Even if we have this trend line right here, which can be broken right here, even if it breaks, we have a competing trend line, which is this one. So if it breaks, we will definitely see some downward movement, but rather in this case, in this manner, like this, maybe this, and before we go up. Why? Because it's a strong support line. And by doing this, if we, like, for example, like end of August, we bounce off this trend line, it will be actually nothing else but a higher low, and it's no problem. So the major uptrend will still remain, and we can kind of maybe predict how much lower it can go if we use the Fibonacci's, if we pay attention to moving averages. But I think the easiest way to do it is just to look at this trend line. So somewhere along this trend line we will bounce. Maybe you can use this support and resistance lines right here. These are quite significant levels. So anywhere we could bounce right from here, we could bounce from here, and then go up. But the major trend has turned bullish now. And we had our first retest and confirmation. Now if we get our second retest, something like this maybe, it will be awesome. So that's all I got to say about Bitcoin right now. If you have no questions, then we just close this stream, and I'll see you very, very soon.